This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, folks. Welcome, LowcoSports fans. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr, OGs, with you tonight on the LowcoSports Lowdown Monday night edition. Max is on assignment with the Fine Publics Corporation. So he's working tonight, but we'll hopefully get him back in here on Wednesday. But we got a great show tonight. We got Rob Hummel from the HHBA, the Hilton Head Baseball Association, also the coach of that 10 and under team that is going to the World Series in Bossier City, Louisiana next month. So we'll be talking with him about all the success over on the island on the baseball diamonds this summer, and all that he's doing over there with that organization. And a matter of fact, we honored his outgoing counterpart tonight. My wife's on the BYS board now, Bluffton Youth Sports, which I served on for a number of years and was president for a couple of years. And so they had their board meeting tonight, and then afterwards we had a little celebration for Jamie Basil, who is stepping down after years of dedicated service on the BYS board, of plenty of other duties as assigned. That dude was always on call to pop over to the fields and do something when needed, always coaching and always contributing in some way or another. So got to kind of see him off. He's retiring from his service. I told him I retired from my service about the time that you started your service, and we worked together for the last 4 years. So I'm sure I'll see you around, buddy. Retiring doesn't really mean retiring when you're talking about volunteer work. It just means I'll still be around to answer your questions and do what you need, but somebody else is going to be in charge now, is basically what it means. Yeah. And Rob will be able to attest to that when we get him in here. So anyway, we got Rob coming on. Got Alex Percival going to join us from the Lowcountry Legacy Alumni Basketball Tournament, which you were able to take in on Saturday, and we talked about it a little bit on Saturday's show, Friday and Saturday. But Alex is able to join us tonight, so we'll talk with him a little bit more about that and look back on that. Wade Hampton taking another title. We're going to have to get some more challengers in there for Wade Hampton. Also
they had to earn it for sure this year.
I know. We just need more teams to come out and challenge them. We haven't seen Buford. We haven't seen Whale Branch. We haven't seen Battery Creek. Haven't seen Hilton Head. So May Rivers even got enough of an alumni base.
And then you mentioned that Hampton County, that newer Hampton County
Hurricanes. Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So, the Red Devils are still going to keep it from the Hurricanes for as long as they can. But Hurricanes will be coming one day for sure. The youth movement. We also had a national champ from the Lowco this weekend. She has sought it for a number of years. Zeo Estrada won a national championship belt out in Fargo. So huge for her. And then I saw today too that she announced her commitment. She's going to William Penn University. So congratulations to Zeo, who continues to be on that Olympic track. And that's the goal for her, and I think it's a real possibility for her, if not this round, then in 4 years. So Zeo's awesome.
Right, for
great standard bearer.
Tremendous trailblazer for the Lowco in terms of girls wrestling, and she has been fun to watch on the mat ever since her days at Hilton High School, and she's kept it going to the national scene. So bringing home a championship to the Lowco, that's amazing. So congratulations to her and all her hard work, and to set a great example for a lot of female wrestlers to come. This sport is really starting to explode on the girls scene as well. So great to see that, and we'll definitely have to get more into that on future episodes of the Lowco Grind.
No doubt about it. I think we've already got Zeo on the hook for whenever we do the next one, if she's available. So that'll time out really well, because now she's got some news to share, so that'll be perfect. Hey, let's shout out our MVP sponsors, and then we'll get to our first guest tonight. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports start with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams, the Lowcountry, and she'd love to help you find your place in the Lowco or upgrade to a bigger, better place in the Lowco. If you want to get into the market, it's a great time right now. It's been quiet, but it's coming out of mothballs, and it's a great time. There's still some room to negotiate. Get in there with Megan Jarrett, official realtor of LowcoSports with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry. Homegrown home inspections. When you find that home, our friends Jan Lucas and his team will check it out and make sure it's a great investment. And if you're building a new home, you've got to have that phased inspection with homegrown home inspections, where they'll check on it every step of the way and make sure that it's built right. Hospice Care, the Lowcountry, is our official hospice provider and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County, providing palliative care, hospice care, and free grief counseling, plus much more across the entire Lowco coverage area. In fact, they reach out into Hampton and Colleton counties as well. So great place for your charity dollars. And hospice care, the Lowcountry, is where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and our original sponsor since 2017. Mickelson Law Firm's been supporting LowcoSports, so please call on them for all your legal needs. And that cues our first guest tonight. We've been laboring to get him in here. It's been a little while to get it done between my schedule, his schedule, all our travels as baseball coaches. But Rob Hummel joins the show. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man. Away from the baseball field for a change, but
very rare.
It's a brief respite for you, and then it's off to Bossier City, Louisiana, which I'll just warn you, if you haven't been, don't get too excited. You know, it's Bossier City, but you can do a little gambling there. You know, it smells a little funky, but it's not so bad. I mean, there's worse places you could go. But congratulations, man, on all the success, not just with your 10U team that you're involved with coaching, but also with, you know, the 8U and 12U coming to the brink of winning state championships, and just with the overall success of the development of ball players over there. And now I see you guys are looking to exploring softball, expanding that a little bit more too, which is great to see. So congrats to you. And I know you heard me talking about Jamie, and you know, I blazed that kind of trail before you guys did too. So I know what it's all about. It is thankless work, unbelievable number of hours, but so rewarding to see the kids go out there and grow and be successful, and then down the road to watch them go on and play at higher levels and go on and do things in life is even better. But congrats on all your success over there, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, and you know, it's been great, and we're looking forward to a couple partnerships with Bluffton, BYS. I know you mentioned them earlier. You know, Tara and the BYS has been nice enough to include us in the softball venture of trying to get this thing going. It's very new to us, very green, but we're excited about that. And me personally, you know, I'm excited about, you know, restoring a relationship throughout the county. You know, it's, you know, we can definitely be competitors on the field, but still work together in different phases to get development of growth. You know, I'm excited about that, you know, and it's good to have a working relationship with you know, the Bluffton people, and you know, it's just good. So we're excited about it.
No doubt, that's really important to have that committed relationship with other baseball associations in the Lowcountry. And you guys have been doing it really well over in Hilton Head.
We're trying, you know, especially at the 8 to 12 level. You know, it's you know, I'm helping the Waves, you know, on the side, just answering some questions and them get their 8U program started, you know, and you know, our program has grown. The Hurricanes program, as you know, Hilton Head Baseball Association has been on a growth path that's been pretty good. So it'd be great when it's, you know, when everybody starts growing at their maximum potential, and they can provide the best baseball in the Lowcountry that there is. And I think it just helps the, you know, high schools of, you know, we have Hilton Head kids that go to Christian Academy. We have Hilton Head kids that go to prep. We have Hilton Head kids go, and we have Bluffton kids that do the same, you know, so it's good, you know, and we're really excited about what's going on in the HHBA right now. And, you know, we've had some recent success. I mean, you know, this is the first time ever that you mentioned before that our 3 teams made a state championship game. I'm not sure if that ever happened in District 8 before, to be honest with you. I didn't do the research, so don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure in going back in the archives of the people of Hilton Head, that's the first time it's ever happened for Hilton Head, where all 3 teams have, you know, made a state championship final game, which was pretty awesome. And Justin, I seen you up there in Walterboro snapping photos, and you witnessed a 15-run game.
15-inning game. Oh, yeah, my gosh.
And I know you're deep in baseball experience. Have you ever thought you'd ever see an 8U game be 1-1 in the 10th and go 15 innings?
Wow.
No, man. It was truly, you know, we say all the time, like, the great thing about the sport is every time you show up to the ballpark, you're liable to see something you've never seen before. And, you know, there does come a point where that becomes not true. Like, you've seen a lot. There's like you see something and you go, yeah, I've seen that once before, like, but that one, no, I've never seen 8-year-olds play that evenly and that well for that extended period of time, and then ran it back and played another really solid, well-played game too. You guys were a little flat in the first inning, and they kind of caught you on your heels and you couldn't dig out, but it was a scrap right to the finish, and it was just a really well-played game. So I was highly impressed, not just with that series, but with the overall level of play across the board for 8-year-olds. I mean, it's coming and it's coming fast. Like, the kids are really well prepared at a young age. The baseball IQ is really high, and it's encouraging to see.
Especially the defense they're playing at the 8U level. I was impressed. Even at the district level,
your third baseman, Warren Shave.
Yeah, like he played. Warren was so great,
out of his mind.
Our infield, the whole team played very well. I mean, look, they're 8 years old. They're not going to make every play, and they played. They might even had just a little, got on their side a little bit for how well they played. But it was great to see, and then we went in and. Another big surprise was the 12U team. The Hilton Head went really well, and then they lost their first game 1-0, and could have folded and been home. They fought their way all the way to a second championship game, and that was pretty impressive. And
very impressive.
And then top it off with our 10U team, who was the favorite, not the favorite, but out of our 3 age groups, we felt they had the best chance, and they ended up
carried the flag.
They did. And I'm not so sure we're done yet. I think that we're going to make some noise over there in Louisiana. We have a solid group of boys and some deep pitching, and I think when you have that at 10 years old, you can go a long way. So,
was there a time over this week that you guys, really thought that you had a chance to do this thing, and it just, what was it that carried you over the top in this state tournament? Got to start with pitching, right? The pitching has to be
the
pitching and defense.
The pitching depth. We were able to, finish the 2 championship games with our best 2 pitchers starting. All right, and then come in with our, another solid play. We had 4 or 5 kids pitch, and they're all solid, and that was the difference between us and Blythewood, is that getting the second game in there afforded us to have a bad inning like we did, and then still come back and finally got the bats going a little bit in the last game, and just solid pitching all the way around. I mean, we really only had 2 bad innings. So
yeah, that's remarkable at that age, because as you know, as anybody who's lived it knows, that 9-10 age group is kind of one of the tougher transition years. Just going to the kids pitching and just developing depth is the key, because in our philosophy, and I don't know about you, but our philosophy has always been, everybody's a pitcher for as long as they can be, and we're going to keep developing them. If it becomes clear a kid just can't do it for whatever reason, that's okay. But if you can do it, we're gonna keep developing it, because you just don't know where it's going to come from sometimes, and some kids just innately have a knack for it.
Yeah, and the one thing to compliment the teams that are doing this the way we do things is, the rec league helps that a lot.
Yes.
People get away from this a lot, and they have this banter about, rec baseball is not good baseball, but there's a lot of positives that come to rec. Kids that don't get opportunities on travel teams to pitch, get opportunities in rec to pitch and learn and get experience to where they become an asset for their travel team, or in our situation, be able to use it in a state playoff type situation where you got to go 4 or 5 pitchers deep. So I'm a big proponent of playing rec baseball, for as long as you can. They say, bad reps. I don't believe in that. I believe that any rep is good rep. Anytime a kid's out in the baseball field, I think Justin, probably when we were younger, before all the devices and stuff, and Wes, I'm not sure your age, so I don't want to include you in this old.
He's pretty young.
When we weren't playing, we're out playing tennis ball, or we skippy ball, and that's the way I consider rec sometimes. Like, even if it's a bad day, a bad day in the baseball field is better than a good day on an
ice. There's not really any pickup anymore, so rec is like the new pickup almost. Like It's just
very
going and
simple.
playing with your friends, and you do a little bit
Nothing
of
better.
everything. You shift around, and I've
Yeah.
always felt like too that, especially with baseball, but I think it's true with all sports, that balance between your local league and your club ball is important because, like you said, you may be a marginal guy on your club team that kind of has a role where you only play every 2 out of every 3 games or 2 out of every 3 innings or whatever. But then you go to the rec league and you're a star on your team, and it's like validation that it's working, right? And you get to kind of compare yourself against your true peers, not the level that you're seeking. And it's like, oh wow, yeah, I am pretty good. And so it's confidence boost for those kids. It also, like you said, if you're primarily an outfielder in travel ball, but you get to play a little second base, a little third base, pitch a little, maybe catch a game here or there. It just makes you a better, well-rounded player and helps you understand the game from different perspectives and get to be kind of a leader too. Whereas maybe on your travel team, you're not.
Build confidence. It builds
Yeah.
confidence. You know what I mean? It's, sometimes kids just need to be the stud on their team just to
Go be
build
the
that
dude.
confidence,
Yeah, go be a dude and see what it feels like to be a dude.
No
and then
doubt.
take that confidence with you everywhere you go. And then also it just elevates your
But
whole league.
sometimes it's
When your best
important to be
players
humble.
don't play,
Yeah.
it really drags your league down.
Yeah, for sure.
You need those people who lead by
It
example.
it definitely does. And it's, I hope that, I'll tell you on this podcast the same thing I've been telling everybody in Bluffton. Said, if this is the secret, or not the secret, the travel program has to be in line with the rec program, and then everything's going to work out. And you got to support one another. They're both equally important to the success of a program. And hopefully Bluffton's able to do that in Bluffton and Beaufort and Carlton and the rest of the teams, because right now Hilton has a little bit of an edge,
rising tide.
I'm not saying that to disparage the other programs or anything like that. I'm just being honest and just saying that, they say, okay, how can Little Hilton Head be this? And so, well, this is why. This is why.
Chemistry is a real thing.
It is.
Chemistry is a real thing.
Development, chemistry, and all the things you said. So.
Yeah, and I firmly believe that, and I've taken up the mantle of being a softball coach apparently too, because I got a daughter who's headlong into it, and
I'm not far.
she's behind the curve.
I got a 7-year-old daughter. I'm losing my mind at how I'm going to figure this out.
Now I understand. Your guy. Well, we got to start a softball program. She's sitting over here waiting on me.
Two things about that. I said, I told everybody, I said, I'm going to get softball. This is what I said 2 years ago or 4 years ago when I got on the Hilton Head board. I said, as soon as I get softball started, I am retiring. And this is before my daughter decided she wanted to play softball. And then I hear your statement about retiring, and you nailed it. You said, retirement is just somebody, you work just as hard, but just somebody else is in charge.
You're just putting somebody else in charge. Right. You're just the one getting delegated to now instead of the one delegating.
No doubt.
So yeah. Well, and honestly though, most of your role becomes like institutional knowledge, and you're like a consultant. Institutional knowledge. Hey, do you remember what we do in this situation? You connect dots, you connect people to other people and those kinds of things. And that's all it is. But that's critical. It's critical to the success of an organization that the ex-presidents, so to speak, are still around and kind of have their
gotta have that wise knowledge you bring upon you guys.
No doubt. I'm just carrying the torch of Hiram Rodriguez and Jeff Riley and Jay Wendell and all these other guys before me, and I do consult in them a lot, and so it's good stuff. Things are going well in Hilton Head.
It's nice to win. It's got to be nice to win.
Oh yeah,
it makes it a little easier, so it makes it a little easier.
Everybody's happier when you win. Everybody gets a little fussy when you lose. You got to take a little cooling off period, reflect, look at the big picture, and all that stuff. But which you've clearly done, because you were a little fussy after that AU loss, but you've reflected on it now and realized, that was a pretty great run we had there.
It was, for me personally, I've had 2 sons that are under the age of 11 that have played in 2 state title games each. That's pretty amazing for a father, I think. But you can take the competitive. I'm a competitor, so
Yeah.
I wanted it as bad as anything. So
yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be mad when you lose.
yeah, you are. And they say that competitiveness is better than apathy, which I agree 100%.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
I can't stand it when there's somebody grinning, walking out the dugout after we just got our butts kicked.
Yeah.
But no, I started a thought and didn't finish it earlier. But I'm coaching softball now, and we've got about 13. We had 13 out last night. We got more than that have shown interest that aren't travel softball players, aren't all stars yet, but they want to be. And man, they get after it, dude. Like the girls. They are so coachable. They are so eager. They are so positive. It is a different kind of vibe. They gel so quickly. They're just best friends instantly.
Yeah.
They have nicknames for each other. It's unreal. So, but I'm encouraging all of them to play fall rec, even though it's fall ball, and it's not the greatest of reps, but it's reps and it's consistent practice and it's consistent games and just consistently being around the game and learning the game and absorbing it, and you don't have to invest a lot of time, money to do it. So take advantage of that, and then we'll go play a few tournaments. We'll find some competition to see what we got, and we'll reevaluate and come back for spring rec and sprinkle in some tournaments. And it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think you're deep enough in it now to recognize that like, don't get too caught up in the moment. We got a horizon, a location on the horizon that we're sailing toward, and that's getting everybody on their high school teams. And as long as everybody keeps playing and doing it the right way, that's going to happen. And so it's a beautiful thing we got going, and people probably don't understand quite how small this community is as far as you talk about youth baseball and softball, but we're all interconnected. We're super connected in a big way. And we're all, every once in a while there's somebody you come across who you're like, I don't know what that guy's motivation is or that woman's motivation is. But most of the time you look around and you go, man, this is a bunch of people who are invested in just providing an opportunity for our kids to be the best they can be and trying to get the best out of them. And a lot of us get involved with it for our own kids so that we can create that environment for them, but it becomes very quickly as much or more about the other kids as your own. And you're just happy that your kid gets to be a part of it, and it's a really cool thing. So I appreciate you for that. And I don't know, I just got off on a tangent, but so tell us more about this 10U team. Shout out some players, some all-stars that are carrying you guys to Bossier City.
Well, I'll just read you down the lineup. You have Colin Heeman. He plays outfield, pitcher, third base. He's our leadoff hitter. You got Grant McComey, Zach Metzger, Connell Rooney, Owen Sanchez, Liam Schilling. You have Graham Hamilton, 9-year-old. You have Hayne Karsten, 9-year-old. You have Shiloh Cross. Great story about that kid. I can go on for days talking about what a great kid that is. You have R.D. Hummel. You have Liam Dorsheimer. And these kids have been together for a long time. Not a long time, but have been together. I remember our first 8U season. We got our butts kicked, and the process started then.
Same.
And we lost in the state championship at 8U, and these kids stayed hungry and stayed together, and here we are. And we're taking a week off this week. Give the boys some rest, let them have a summer, go swimming, stay up late, do sleepovers and stuff. And then we're back at it next week for practice and then get ready to go to Bossier. We just had our parents' meeting tonight, trying to raise money, do all those things. And, so
and
it's been an amazing ride.
It means
it
a lot.
Blows your whole summer.
But it's worth it. It's you create lifelong memories of this team, and now there's an added level to it now because you're no longer just Hilton Head. You're representing the entire state of South Carolina. Your team South Carolina now as you get ready to compete in this World Series against teams from over the Southeast. So what does that mean to you to carry these guys, coach these guys to this?
It's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say that because that's when it got real surreal for me. Is that when I just sat there and I thought about it, and then they called us up and they showed us the South Carolina uniforms. And then I was like, this is pretty amazing that you become, you're no longer Hilton Head, you're Team South Carolina, and you have a whole new uniform, and you have, and it's just pretty awesome. And then the bracket comes out and you're looking at, different teams, and just the opportunity to represent your state, I feel is like a once in a lifetime thing for these kids. And for me too, I've never played in a state championship game, or won a state title as a player, and it's been pretty awesome. So,
yeah, I can attest. Like, that was cool. When you got your South Carolina jersey and hat, you're like, wow, like this is. And then when you walk out there, the opening ceremony, which I poked some fun at our opening ceremony meal in Laurel, Mississippi, which was 2 Papa John's pizzas and a 12-pack of Coke for 12 boys and 3 coaches in a high school gym. Right. But the opening ceremony, when we walked out on that football field and we're all wearing South Carolina and carrying the South Carolina flag, and they're playing "Gone to Carolina in My Mind" or whatever. Right. It was chill bumps, it was cool. So, relish that. Do you guys have multiple age groups at your site, or at least 2 divisions?
I think both divisions aren't there. I believe there is. But I don't know.
That was cool. We had like 3 age divisions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it was
cool to interact with the other South Carolina.
You have the AAA, the 10U. You also have majors, and you have ozone.
So it was the Buffett Americans at 10, and then the Hilton Head. Was that the same year that Hilton Head went at 12?
Right.
Hilton Head 12s were there.
Yeah, and then with the Laurel, Mississippi too. So
Are you telling me that all
they give you is pizza again? I mean, they can't spice it up with a little something. You know what I mean?
I can't speak to Bossier City. I hope they have a crawfish boil or something for you. But in Laurel, it was 2 Papa John's pizzas and a 12-pack of Coke. I don't drink and it wasn't even cold Coke. It was like warm Coke.
That's the same way. I said that when Hilton Head gets their new fields, and if we ever decide to do the take on the state, it's we're going to do something better than pizza. All right. It might just be a little bowl of pasta with 1 meatball and a garlic stick, but we're going to do something a little better.
We'd have been happy. We'd have been happy to get pizza when we were 8 in Florence, because we got we got a scoop of chicken bog, and the kids looked at us like, "What in the world is this?"
Who doesn't love pizza?
That's true.
Pizza in front of the kid, they'll love it every time.
The Papa John's was great. It was the sizzling 12-pack of Coke that threw me for a loop.
Speaking of your the 12-pack of Coke, shameless plug for Mickelson. I got an appointment at 10 a.m. with Ryan tomorrow for some will work. So if you want some good will work done, go to Ryan Mickelson Law, and you can tell Ryan to give a little plug on our
There you go. Extra plug for the OG sponsor, Mickelson.
Right.
Awesome.
The oldest one, so. But,
we'll be talking to you real soon about some sponsorship. But
I told you I owe you one, and we'll get one taken care of. So I do. I'm a man of my word. So, but I appreciate you all. And,
but before we let you, just how fun has this summer been? Being a part of this and just watching all of these Hilton Head Baseball Association programs compete for state championships, and keeping an eye on all of them as they progress through, and being an integral part of why this summer and this program has become super successful in South Carolina.
Yeah, for me, there's times when I look in the mirror and I say, what am I doing? Why? I have 3 businesses. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing here in my life? So when things like that, when you see the hard work pay off, I think that it's just a big relaxer for me, or just a little step back to say, you know what, you're doing the right thing. You know what I mean?
That's why.
I can make a lot more money probably if I work a little harder, but it's for the kids, and I think it's great. And, it is. You got to have a passion about it, and you got to be willing to put in the work. So, and I think we do that at the HHBA, and it's nice. But summer's been long. Summer's gone already for us. And we're just talking about today. I got to sneak out. I'm trying to get my kids to a Yankees game. You know what I mean? This has been a
hey, especially when you're going on these deep runs into August. It flies by for sure.
Hey, if we would win the World Series or play in the World Series game, my son and our
Yeah.
kids are going to miss the first day of school.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
school's starting so early this year.
Well, we were in a similar boat. I mean, we weren't quite as close, but we got back and had like 4 days before school started or something. Like, I mean, your whole summer is gone to it.
Right.
And so it was disruptive to our life. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was disruptive to our life. But it was amazing. It was a great experience. Like you said, it's a once in a lifetime type deal. You're definitely conflicted in going into that last game. You're like, man, I really want to win this game. But also, like, if we didn't have to surrender the next month of our life and then go to, the deep South in August, that would probably be okay too.
Yeah.
There'll be other baseball games.
This is true.
But it's definitely like it's a win-win. It'll be okay either way. But now that you're going, you want to win the whole dang thing. So we'll be cheering you on. We'll be following from afar, and
appreciate
hope
the
to see you
support.
guys do well.
Yeah, thanks.
Man.
Appreciate the support. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Rob, and we'll talk to you real soon. We'll talk to you on the other side of it for sure.
All right, thanks. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care, man.
Yeah.
That's Rob Hummel from Hilton Head Baseball Association and the 10U Hilton Head Hurricanes and now the Hilton Head All-Stars. Doing great work over there, and good dude. Always love talking ball with him, and definitely going to get them on as a sponsor real soon. And one of these three businesses at least. Our varsity sponsors are LowcoSports, DDS Web Design, builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS at ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. I actually took Truman over there this afternoon because he took himself out of the lineup yesterday, which is unusual. He's a wrestler, he's got high tolerance for pain. But one injury we don't play through is elbow, and in baseball at least. And he had elbow soreness throwing before the game and said, "Dad, it hurts." Tried to swing, wasn't good. So he was just a courtesy runner for that game. But took him over to Ambrose today, got him checked out, got him adjusted, feeling much better, no damage. So we're good to go. And I got an adjustment out of the deal too. So go see Dr. Ambrose Cole with all your needs. It was unbelievable to watch him explain how the body works to Truman. And he also left him with basically the analysis was needs to be stronger through the shoulders and back, triceps. Because the elbow is overcompensating. Elbow is supposed to be a stability joint versus a mobility joint. When the shoulder's not doing the job it needs to do, the elbow has to try to do more than it's supposed to do, get strained, injury. So he's got to work out to rehab and get better for next season. So stronger, be able to throw even better without pain. So go see Dr. Ambrose Cole, official chiropractor of LowcoSports, Rooted Living Wellness, and Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. You can go to Reverence to take your skills on the mat to the next level. We are expecting any minute now to see our friend from the Lowcountry Legacy, Alex Percival, come in, but would love to hear more from your perspective about the tournament on Friday and Saturday night, and until we get Alex in here.
Yeah, what an amazing event! And obviously, I wasn't able to go last year, so it's hard for me to kind of compare the 2 years, but it was run incredibly well from the top down. And Percival, we talked about the many hats you have to wear as a tournament director, and he was running all over the place the entire afternoon, turned evening. It was a long day. We started around 11 for the first game, and then we went to about close to 7 o'clock 6:37 when we wrapped it up. So great day of basketball, long day of basketball, and tremendous product out there on the court. I mean, there were ebbs and flows. There were some times where it was, kind of like a game of pickup basketball that you see outside on the courts, where you have, more not as in terms of strong play, but most of the time it was some excellent basketball. It was tremendous. just to watch and be a part of this thing and to watch it unfold and just to see the level of skill of these guys and some of these guys they rarely pick it up as much as maybe they would like to because they have day jobs and they're in their careers now. So just see everyone back playing together and these alumni. That's what makes it so special is because you have the bond just
Right.
that develops between these players, and that's what makes it just so special to be a part of. And as I said, there were some times where you had the 3-on-0 or 4-on-0, and just it wasn't the most fun to appealing to watch, but
Yeah.
for the majority of it, especially when you got to the bracket portion, the semifinals and the final, tremendous basketball, and it was captivating. Of course,
Well, yeah, they got to conserve. They got to conserve for the finals.
Yeah,
Too.
especially because you have to play so many games in one day.
I think they learned that last year.
Yeah,
I think last year they realized, holy crap, you can't go guns blazing from the start, or you won't have nothing left in the tank at the end. Because the Bluffton team, particularly last year, they were on dead legs by the time they got to the championship. Because they went too hard. They were walking wounded. They had like 5 people on the shelf by the time they got to the end.
It kind of happened with the Savannah or the 912 team from Georgia.
Yeah, see, new team. They didn't know.
Yeah,
they didn't know.
No, they were getting after it early. And just the way the schedule worked out is they had to play all their games today. Some of the teams had got their first game in on Friday. And so I think what happened is they, didn't have their full tank of energy for that semifinal game, and definitely played a toll in there, although they gave it a heck of an effort. But give credit to that original team for coming back from 12 points. They were down by 12 at one point in that second half, and they kept clawing their way back. They were able to hit a couple of clutch shots to force overtime, and then they kind of took it over down the stretch. And that was really cool to see that gym absolutely rocking because everybody was rooting for. I mean, they're the home team, original Hardyville, so everybody was rooting for the Jags. Sure. Even the DJ was rooting for the Jags.
Well, the DJ's a Jag all the way through and through. But speaking of the Jags, we got the head Jag and the head man of the Lowcountry Legacy Alumni Basketball Tournament, AP, joining us now. Alex Percival, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing well, brother. Glad to have you on with us. We tried to get you in Saturday, and it was a little too chaotic after your shindig wrapped up. But so tell us, from your perspective, how did year 2 go?
Year 2 was definitely above and beyond what we expected. We expected it to be better than last year, but just the outpour of just love and appreciation and just all the good vibes that was surrounded by myself and my family and everything. It was so surreal. So games, like you guys said, were very competitive. It went down to the wire with that Richmond Georgia game. I mean, a lot of the games were very entertaining. It was any game you caught, you were going to catch a show.
Yeah. I mean, it was high flying, back and forth kind of basketball. Like it was energetic. It was energetic. A lot of scoring, a lot of highlight reel plays, a lot of offense. If you like, fast-paced basketball. You got to see that a lot throughout that tournament. But I will say, I think the defense and just the overall intensity picked up as it went on to those semifinals.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the game of the tournament for me was Ridgeland, Hardyville up against the 912 team coming over from Georgia. Overtime, it went to OT. The Jags got it done. And they had to rally from double digits to win that game. So were you able to take any of that? Obviously, you're wearing a bunch of hats, so you're running all over the place. But from the portion of the game that you saw, I mean, just an unbelievable hour of basketball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And coming into this season or this event, a lot of guys had chips on their shoulders from last year. They still had sour taste in their mouth that Hampton, took it all last year. And this year, they came strapped. But, Hampton still came out on top. and a couple of guys, they lost a few guys as well because they had, other engagements and personal affairs to take care of. So to be honest, I thought Ridgeland, if not my team, of course, but I thought Ridgeland was gonna take it all. But yeah, shout outs and kudos to Hampton for sticking it through.
And Ridgeland beat them. They matched up over in the tournament, if I remember correctly, before the final, right? Yep.
Yeah. They beat
Oh,
him.
so Ridgeland,
Ridgeland
on opening night, right?
Yeah.
No, it was the same day. It was the same day, right?
Oh, earlier in the day they
Yeah.
Earlier in the day.
So the rematch of what we saw earlier, and then Wade Hampton came back to beat them. So great. That was a fun couple of really fun matchups, but especially that one, to see an all Lowco championship when you had another team from this or out of the area come in, and they certainly had a chip on their shoulder. They wanted to challenge the Lowcountry, but Ridgeland already able to knock them off, and then a tremendous championship game as well that was back and forth throughout that first half, and that was competitive until the very end. And credit to Wade Hampton for hanging in there and going back to back. So I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of teams that are gonna be even more excited to take their best shot at next year.
Oh yeah,
better be.
Yeah, I've been getting texts and calls left and right since past weekend. So everybody's looking forward to next year. And just to kind of give you guys a heads up, I was told, a little scoop. I was told that Estill and Hampton may be joining forces next year.
So we have a Hampton County team.
Hampton County.
The Hurricanes.
Yeah, so that's in the fold.
So they're really taking that merger to heart in Hampton County. They're really embracing it. They're even going to merge their
Wade
alumni
Hampton's going to go out on top, I guess, and they're going to
bro, they're going to be a real problem to take down if they add Estill into the mix now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Estill got some dudes that's come through there over the years, and they got a couple that
and you got some young guys too.
They may not be cleared to play in the Lowcountry Legacy just yet, but in a few years when they're done playing in college,
they're
going to have an influx of talent.
Those Hurricanes from Hampton County.
Kayvon's going to be like Shaq for like 20 years in this thing once he graduates. Once he's done in the NFL, he's going to be coming in and just bodying people for Hampton. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
What we really got to do, though, is we got to get more of Beaufort County representing this thing.
Tell me about it.
Bluffton's been our only rep. We got Hilton Head just sitting out there. They got plenty of talented alums. We got Beaufort. We already got a game that goes on between Battery Creek and Whale Branch. So they already got squads. I don't understand why they're not signing up for this thing. Colleton, come on. Get Colleton in this thing. Bring it on.
That's the plan. I reached out to Colleton and, of course, Beaufort schools as well.
Awesome.
Hilton Head Christian Academy?
Hilton
Prep's got some serious alumni.
I think Chris said he was going to definitely get a team next year.
Ferraro?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Jerry Faulkner back on the bench if he's around. And
get Bob Sulik to coach a team of girls and just play trap the whole game. all the Hilton Head Prep girls alums and just
speaking of
everybody.
Which, we had a couple of females out there, and one of that outstanding 3-point buzzer beater for Bluffton earlier in the tournament. That was fun.
Dynasty.
Dynasty can ball.
Yeah, she had her own around them guys for sure.
Yeah,
for real. Did they get Janae out there this year? Janae Bonai, because she can shoot it from the outside too. Back in the day, I'm sure she still could.
But
maybe she don't ball no more. I don't know. She could bang it back in the day though.
Ball is life. It should be,
Yeah.
Personally, it was cool to see all the female players, the women in there as well, to be a part of it.
Was Jomanda out there again?
Yeah, she came out Friday. She came out Friday. And that's the biggest thing. We want to have representation from all walks of life, everybody, gender, race, whatever the case may be. We're just all about embracing those who have paved the way, not only for the guys, but for the females as well. And I was just looking in the stands as, the ladies were playing, and then just looking at the kids and the little girls and just those who, they were in awe and very impressed.
They were staying the whole afternoon. A lot of this fan section. The attendance was tremendous,
Yeah.
and they were getting into it. So
Mm-hmm.
just talk about. So we had a great fan support. It was a rock. It was a awesome environment to be in because you had a DJ.
I feel like you're at a party all day long. So it's like, why would you leave?
You
You're at a
guys,
party. It's a good time.
Hey, you would love that. They were playing a bunch of 90s and 2000s hip hop, and it was banging. It was awesome.
Yeah, I told you, man. Like, I was vibing. I was having the time of my life last year. I was really bummed to miss it. And then we didn't even play that good, so I was really mad to miss it. Man, but we did win. Saturday we did win one against the team that ended up winning the tournament. So it wasn't for naught.
You know, but
I missed it, man. I was sad to not be there.
I'm glad Wes came though, so he can see what we kind of built. You know what I mean?
I loved it. I had a blast.
Yeah,
and just like your perspective, like, did you see a big jump up just in terms of the overall feel and the overall success compared to year one?
The numbers going up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, the line was outside the door on Friday. The staff at the rec, they were kind of surprised. They were kind of throwing me like, "Oh, this is legit. Like, you really okay? This is okay. Now we know."
Yeah.
You know. And then, you know, shout outs to Harry Williams, the mayor of Hardyville. He came in and showed love on both days. Gave me his good graces and appreciation for doing something like this in Hardyville during his tenure. So it was love all the way around. And I've been getting text messages today talking about let's do it this fall. I'm like, okay, we can. But what's up? We got to make it happen. So
yeah, man. Thanksgiving time, somewhere along in there. So
right,
you know, you and I at one point talked about the prospect of doing a kickoff to basketball,
and then not just that, but then have actual high school basketball games there.
Let's set up some Lowco and Lowco high school games and play alumni games in between.
Yeah.
Play the girls, play the alumni game, play the boys.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And then what happens is you get these new audiences that will stay to watch the alumni games. And then, of course, you just switch back
generations.
Yeah.
So you're saying the alumni of each school being represented, the high schools that's being represented.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's set up some games. Say, you know, Hampton against Ridgeland, and they play, you know, the girls, and then you play an alumni game, and then you play the boys game. Make a whole event of it.
Yeah.
And we could get a few of them set up.
Hey, I love it.
Get a little series.
Yeah.
I love it.
As
long as it's not, you know, interfering with, you know, camp or scheduling, you know, dead period with these kids. Hey,
exactly. No, it would have to be like a preseason tournament type deal, I think.
Yeah, like November, like right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, like when they're allowed to play exhibitions and preseason tournaments or whatever.
There's a certain schedule to how that works. There's like a date to when you can start playing.
Yeah,
those kinds of
we can explore it.
Yeah,
we're floating the idea. If you're interested, get in touch. We'll connect it up. We'll hook it up. We'll get the Lowco Generations tournament going for.
But yeah, I mean, I had a blast. Tremendous atmosphere, great crowd, and a great venue as well. I was really impressed with the Hardy Recreation Center. It was a really nice place to host it. You know, it provided ample space, and you got food trucks outside. Just, you know, really cool venue to host an event like this, and I thought it went really well. And just, you know, I'm gonna remember this second annual tournament as you know, one where I think this really took off in a sense where, you know, you get the big fan support. You get these players from several different areas around Lowcountry and beyond, bringing one in from Georgia. So I think it's only going to grow moving forward, starting in what we could see for year 3. But in your opinion, how would you like to build on what you've seen so far as a director of this tournament, and as you see it moving forward?
That's a great question, Wes, because every year I'm always, you know, discussing not only with myself but with my peers, like how can we build on top of what we've already done. And it's I don't feel like we hit a ceiling, but I feel like we gotta bring our A game again next year.
And obviously the obvious choice, I mean, like adding more teams as we discussed. But
of course. And I mean, these guys, these girls, they got to join. Like, we can't move on as a Lowco community together unless everybody's involved.
That's the thing, is like, you can only do so much. You built the platform now, but people got to participate. That's the only way to make it bigger. So
that really is.
Yeah, the call to action is out there.
Just what it means to you seeing the community come together, and not just the Hardyville people, but from Bluffton, from Jasper County, all over the area, and just coming together to support each other, and also provide community support for back to school and the mental health initiative. As you gave a speech towards the end about how important that is. So just give us the rundown of what you want to do in terms of supporting that cause.
Well, I don't know if you weren't there on Friday or West, but on Friday we had the Vet Center from Savannah. They were there representing their location, and they provided the resources and were there just to answer any questions and things like that when it comes to therapy, when it comes to just different resources that they may not have access to. But because I'm prior service, I'm a veteran myself, I wanted to have that representation out there. And I wanted people to have those resources, whether they choose to use them or not. At least, I had it for them. But just continue to hammer it home, continue to let people know this is not just, a tournament, to come out. This is to raise awareness. This is to spread positivity and really hone in on the overall objective that we're trying to pass here. So it starts with me. I have to continue to be consistent with my message, consistent with my drive and my efforts, because it's very important to me. That's really why this tournament was made, because it was needed in the Lowcountry. I've had a lot of friends die from gun violence. I had a lot of friends who suffer from high anxiety, PTSD, even from that have suffered from suicide. So across the board is so close to home for me. So it's going to always be my drive and my initiative.
Yeah, man. I mean, life gets heavy, and for a lot of people, and a lot of people are carrying a lot more weight than they want to let on, and going through it. And so it's important that we talk about it, and it's important that everybody understands it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to know you're not okay and just keep being not okay. Like, talk to somebody, uncover what it is at the root of it, and put your feet in front of you and make the best of the day. So credit to you, man, for your efforts to not only bring a great event to the community and give all these guys and girls a chance to lace them up and go relive the glory days, but also for the message you connect to it, and the advocacy that you put into trying to help the next generation,
for sure,
as well as ours. I mean, as well as yours and mine. So we appreciate you, Bo, and it's been a great friendship, and we're just beginning. We're going to continue to do great things together.
It's up from here, for sure.
That's right, baby. Started from the bottom, now we have. All right, AP. Be good, baby.
All right, guys.
Talk to you later.
Thank you.
That's
a great guy. A great guy.
I love him, man.
Yep.
He's one of the greatest. It's whatever you believe about a higher power or whatever, sometimes it feels like the universe puts certain people in your path, and it's for a reason. And I'm telling you, it was fate that Alex and I happened to be at the same random game at Ridgeland a couple of years ago, and he spotted the logo on my shirt and stopped and talked, and the rest, as they say, is history, but we're still writing it. So it's really cool. He's become a great friend, and I'm excited to be a part of everything he does. So anything he does, I should say, anything he wants me to be a part of, I'm in. Lowco Booster Club supports us, so please support them. We got Court Lifestyle Pros. Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, including Lowco swag. You can get it from our Lowco swag shop. About to drop it in the comments. Created by Eagle Creations. Here we go. Get Lowco swag from Eagle Creations. I love these live typing in the comments reads, don't you? But no, Eagle Creations does cool stuff. And when you see the Lowco swag, you'll get an idea of what they can do for you with your promotional items and custom apparel. They also do custom gift baskets, all kinds of other stuff. Go over on Argent Boulevard, check out their shop and see what they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland. Whether you need a haircut or not, go in for the great conversation. Come out looking stylish in downtown Ridgeland at Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, Chris Odom and his team will get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you, no matter the surface, except for dirt floors. They do not do dirt floors. They've tried, doesn't work. We also have Hudson Seafood House on the docks, one of the Lowcountry and Hilton Head legendary places on Hilton Head. I mean, that's iconic, if you will.
Yes.
And the great place to catch the sunset right there on the back deck at Hudson's. So good. And when it's oyster season, you definitely got to get there.
Also, the Hush Puppies are also top tier.
On point. Yeah, Hush Puppies are top tier. And shout out to Hearth Pizza, wood-fired pizza down in downtown Beaufort for their fundraiser they did for us a while back, their Spirit Night. We'll definitely have to get another one of those going. If you need a pizza downtown in Beaufort, heck, check out Hearth. Almost out of time. Last time for parting thoughts. I've got one for you. I am not a big gamer like I used to be, but NCAA 25 dropped this afternoon at 4 p.m. as I understand it. And BJ Payne has updated us with the player cards for all the Island boys in the game. We got Jalen Sneed rated an 80 overall for Notre Dame. Gaston Moore rated 75, field general quarterback. Got Colden Marzo, a 71 outside linebacker for Wyoming. Wake Forest has Chris Marable rated a 70, just a freshman. So it looks like he's going to develop into a stud. Sam Suma makes the game, 65 at tight end. And Shai Thompson, freshman defensive end at East Carolina with a 64. I think he's going to have a higher rating next year's game.
I expect so. Yeah, it's a little low. But I thought, but it's.
I don't have the game, but if you have the game and you want to send us screenshots of other Lowco players' ratings, we would love to see those.
I'll tell you, these kids, I mean, they grew up playing Madden and NCAA football. So, I mean, this is like a dream come true for these kids because they were at one point, playing these games, on their television.
Now they're in it.
Now they're in it. I mean, that's just got to be such a cool feeling for them to be part of. From what I've seen, the game looks fantastic. I mean, obviously, the last one came out like over a decade ago, so there's obviously a graphics improvement, but just all the traditions from the different teams on the field, they've put them in the game, and it's very realistic from what I'm seeing. And it's been overhauled to really fit into today's standards of what the fans are wanting from an NCAA football game, and so I'm sure.
It looks so good that I think I'm going to try to talk Truman into a new gaming system for his birthday. So I can play it with him. He'll smoke me, I'm sure, but I want to play it so bad that I might be like, "Hey, buddy, time to upgrade from that PS4 for your birthday this year. You want to ask Nana and Paul for that, maybe? Get that college football game." But the home run derby, we're down to the semis. We got Witt, Ramirez going at it.
Alonzo
right now.
out in the first round. That was surprising. Pete Alonzo.
Yeah, he flopped. But Bohm, remember we said the other night it was going to be one of those guys that you're like, what's he doing in here? Who gets on a heater? Bohm. I did say Teoscar Hernandez was a sleeper.
Yeah, just got in there as the 4th seed.
He snuck in as the 4. He got hot in the bonus round. He had a bunch in the bonus round.
I kind of like the format now. They
I like it.
Yeah, because
I like it a lot because
before you were trying to kind of rush it, and obviously you're trying to hit as many home runs as possible. But I just feel it's more exciting as a fan to watch it. See it unfold when you have the pressure of the outs. It kind of I think it makes it better for the best hitters because you have
Yeah.
the ability to be patient and search because the time
Right.
limit you only have, and now you have a pitch limit, so you only have 40 pitches in the time
Right.
portion of it. So you have to be swinging away. You don't have time to be patient.
Right.
So now you get this extra opportunity, and there's also a rule that if you hit a home run a certain amount of feet, you get an extra out. So there's that
Right.
built into it as
Yeah.
well. And so I like how they kind of mixed both of the formats together this year.
I really, really like the format. And one of the things I like about it is you alluded to it, but I'll go a little further. And that is each format kind of favors different guys. Like every guy is better in one format or the other, just because of the tempo. And
Right.
so it kind of balances it by we have the fast tempoed round where you get X number of pitches in a short period where it's really quick tempo. But you don't have to use all the pitches in the time allotted if you don't want to. If you want your pitcher to work at a slower tempo that you prefer, you can. You'll just forfeit some pitches.
Right.
But yes, it's swing mode all the way because there's no penalty for swinging and not hitting a home run. But then you also, like you said, get that bonus round where you can really slow the tempo and let your guy focus on hitting your hot spot and getting a groove and maybe hit, 6
And
or
then
8 or
also
10 in the span of 3 outs.
Yeah. And the time also, and certainly the 40 pitch limit puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher to put it in
A
a
ton.
sweet spot.
Like they've got to be pumping it fast because Teoscar ran out of time before he ran out of pitches. But I think that was kind of by design. Like he wanted the slower pace because you could see when he got to the bonus round, he was much more comfortable and much more in rhythm. But one thing that I noted as I was watching it, and maybe it's because I fight kids who want to introduce big leg kicks. They love a big high leg kick because they think it looks cool. Watch these guys. Almost none of them are using a leg kick. They're picking it up and putting it down. Now, Jose Ramirez, he's got a little bit of a leg kick usually, but in this, picking it up, putting it down, feet in the ground, and drive. Like
that's it for him.
Leg kicks don't work.
Bobby Witt moving on.
It's just too hard to be on time. Yeah, Bobby Witt.
Love to see the kids. Love to see the kids showing out, the younger guys.
How about the Royals adding Jack Caglianone to Bobby Witt? Couple of cornerstone dudes right there.
Yeah, that was a nice pick there.
Nice pick, and they may let him pitch a little too, which is interesting.
Two-way guy,
yeah.
He was tearing up over there at Florida. I think that's a great pick there for Kansas City. So they got a couple of young cornerstones on that team.
And they already locked up Witt for a while, right?
They did.
So I think they may be aggressive with Jack too, and as soon as they kind of see that he's big league ready, like they think he is, I think they'll lock him up pretty quick and try to follow the Braves mold of locking up these young players in long-term deals, so that you've got kind of club-friendly contracts that you can go out and get one or two big splash free agents and make a run. And maybe have a wider window than some teams do. Because sometimes you build the team such that you only have like a 2 or 3 year window and a key injury here or there, and it closes, So I like what they're doing in Kansas City.
I'm excited for that team. And they've gotten some, strong depth in terms of the rotation. Obviously, I like where you're seeing the drafting and the emergence of those young guys, but there are some guys that I'm excited about as well in terms of the pitching as well, including guys like Brady Singer, who's having a pretty solid year. Another former Florida Gator.
Yeah, they've got some good young pitching. Also in the draft, PJ Morlando from Somerville High School went 16th overall to the Marlins. Some people felt like that was kind of a stretch. I saw some reaction that thought it was kind of a reach, but he won that home run derby at the All-Star game, the Under Armour home run derby a couple years ago. He's got loud power. I think he didn't have a great senior year, but that was because nobody pitched to him. Why would you? He didn't get anything to hit all season. So I think his stock dropped a little bit due to that, but I think it was silly. He's got loud power. So I think he'll do well in Miami. And then the other one I wanted to note was Carter Holton, guy from Benedictine in Savannah. He played travel ball with a lot of Bluffton guys coming up. So he's a known quantity in this area. Went on and played at Vandy, and he went 62nd, I believe, to the Braves. So that was pretty cool. A Georgia boy going to the Braves. You always love to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
homegrown
pretty awesome.
talent.
You got any parting thoughts for us?
Yeah, well, you stole mine, so I gotta
Oh, sorry
think
about
of
it.
another one.
I saw that and I had to make sure it got in there, so
Yeah.
I apologize for stealing yours.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going off the football. I mean, we are only officially just a week out from SCISA practices getting started, so I'm pumped to see where these SCISA teams are at, particularly Hilton Head Christian Academy, a team that has been a powerhouse right there for a number of years. I'm interested to see what they have with a bunch of the seniors that are no longer there, and kind of see what their makeup is going forward. Then Hilton Head Prep with a new coach is going to be intriguing, and of course Buford Academy. You have Shuford, but with a different cast of characters on that team. So it's getting to the point where we're a week away from practices, and these guys are getting ready to head over there and get back to work. So it's crazy to think that we're getting so close to the starts of high school football season, and I'm excited to see how all the pieces are fitting. And SCISA, as we mentioned earlier, SCISA starts a week earlier. The 16th of August is their opening weekend, and we got a couple of games on the docket there to start us off. So I'm pumped for that, and to get things rolling again. The fall sports, we're about a couple weeks away, and we'll have volleyball and tennis and other sports starting up as well soon enough. So I'm pumped to see that getting going, because I kind of I miss going out to it's nice to kick back and have these opportunities during the summer to have these one-on-one interviews, and to see what all these things are, other areas that we don't get to see, like golf. This time of year you have the tournaments over the summer, and then you go into the
Yeah.
youth baseball. So it's been
Yeah,
cool.
I'm starting to
Yeah.
crave the grind again.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Like I'm starting to crave all right, there's
Yeah.
20 things going on
Right,
tonight.
where
These are the big ones.
I enjoy just rambling and talking about whatever, but it's gonna be nice again to get back to the flow of
I
reporting
agree.
on events and like of
I
big time high
agree.
school stuff.
I crave a chaotic routine, I think,
Yeah.
is how I would describe it. I like to know that there's stuff going on, and the more chaotic, the better. So it's basically the life I've chosen for myself: chaos and deadlines
Yeah.
and never-ending churn. And so, yeah, when the faucet runs dry, I don't really know what to do with myself sometimes. So, yeah, we need to get back to games to go out to every night, report results to report, stars to shine a light on, all that kind of stuff. I look forward to that. But the easygoing summer is always nice.
Yeah,
Take a
for sure.
breath and shine a light around some other corners of the Lowco. So, we'll call the night from there. Thanks so much to our guests, Rob Hummel and Alex Percival, not only for joining us tonight, but for also what they're doing in the community. Rob doing a great job with that baseball and soon to be softball program over on Hilton Head. And Alex, couldn't be prouder of that guy and what he's built with this event just for first 2 years. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do going forward. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors who make it possible. If you'd like to become a sponsor, get in touch with us, LowcoSports@gmail.com. Getting dry. Or you can find us online on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which no longer allows us to live stream these, which stinks, but it is what it is. And the Lowco Media Network on YouTube. So get in touch if you want to become a sponsor and support grassroots local sports coverage in the Lowco. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you for coming along for the ride, and let a friend know about the next one. Wednesday night, we'll be back hopefully have Max Raj in tow with us, Mad Max. Hopefully Publix will let him off work early on Wednesday so he can join us to talk sports. And we'll see you then. So until then, for Worldwide Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Loco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!